know they were reviewing it on Friday, their numbers to send back to us to complete that. So we'll just, do competitive bids on it, competitive quote, and see what that comes back and present that back to the Aaron Council.
Yeah. And then
Blacktop will still complete the road. This is just for the underground, for the patching. So this is just for the underground for that intake.
And then Jecco has said that they would take it the rest of the way into the private side of it and attach the drain. So once we know who's going to be doing the install, then we'll get that over to Leon and so we can work with them.
Yep.
What else we have?
Road maintenance. The other one is hanging out there yet. A lot of sidewalks to replace yet, curbs, etc. No change in the frozen weather by any means. So.
For the most part, I guess while we're doing a project update, the bridge right now is, it looks like completion potentially May, June. Granted, that all goes up in the air depending on weather, but they do have the false work completed. They have, they're in the process of installing putting all the rebar down. That'll take them probably through next week to get that completed. And then at that point, it's just up to the weather. They need decent weather to pour. They've got to get all of the steel and everything involved up to, I believe it's 40 degrees, 50 degrees, something like that. So it's we're a ways off from pouring, considering the forecast.
Sure.
So,
Does that also include that bump out for the Veterans Memorial overlook that Joe Hayda raised funds for? Or?
not on the first pour.
No.
First pour is just the deck.
Just
and
the
then
deck.
they'll do, I believe it's just the deck. I've got a meeting with them on Thursday to further go over kind of the logistics of getting the bump out and then working with Joe on making sure that they've got placements for the plaques that Joe's working on with the funds that he fundraised. He's got ideas into, I think, 3 or 4 different companies on potential plaques, and I think he's still working on that. But the idea is to make sure that we've got the appropriate space and the appropriate place to anchor those plaques. But as of right now, I can't. I'm 90% sure it's just the deck, but I guess we'll see.
I don't think there's anything else out there on them. Sent you some stuff on the, other options for the pavement, stuff like that for in the future here. Otherwise, just really waiting for the weather to break. Everything that we're doing right now is completely weather dependent on it. So
Yeah.
that's what we're waiting on.
One other thing, regarding, we had that slurry seal discussion during budget, and microsurfacing or seal coating and trying to figure out which way to go. Along those lines, I did ask David, and I'm sure he'll make you do it, but to figure out which blocks would make the most sense.
Yep,
as
we're
far
in the
as-
process of that
yeah.
right now. I don't know when exactly we'll get that completely updated and further recommendations on it, but it shouldn't take too long
Yeah.
with it. But yeah, we're in the process of updating the existing PCI index, or the road index
Yeah.
map right there, to incorporate the new, the streets that were sealed this year, and to look at a recommendation for the next upcoming year here on where the best dollars to be spent would be.
Kind of where we're at.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Slater,
Aye.
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Next, is a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2015-11. A resolution approving the fiscal year 2015-2016 budget estimate, directing the city clerk to publish the notice of the public hearing and set Monday, March 2nd, 2014. Can't be right.
No, 2015.
About 15. At 5:30 p.m. is the date and time for a public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2015-2016 budget.
This is the budget as it was considered in the work sessions. The current budget contains the unified law enforcement levy, This obviously is being voted on March 3rd, so while we'll have the public hearing, we will not formally approve the budget until we know the outcome of that election. When we publish, we can always reduce from what we publish in the newspaper. You can't increase. So what this is the budget assuming that everything's in. Should the Unified Law Enforcement Levy fail, then we'll have to go through, probably schedule a work session to make sure that we're all on board with, what's going in, what's coming out. Obviously, most of the capital projects would be affected, and we probably have to use down fund balance, knowing that we would not have the funding from the Unified Law Enforcement Levy. Just a brief overview of the capital projects that are included. Contains the police cruiser for the police department, the payloader and blower for the street department, street improvements for the upcoming year, and slip lining for the wastewater collection system. On the finance side, we are spending down some trust and agency funds that have accumulated a fund balance, bringing us closer in line with what our current costs are. It contains the increase for $1 in sanitation fees to cover the increasing costs in operating the sanitation department, and a increase of 6.3% in sewer. That's 5% increase with the 1.3% CPI increase, and then a 1.3% CPI increase on the water side also. CPI being the consumer price index. So obviously we had those two previous meetings to discuss the budget. One of the things I just wanted to say while we're on camera is obviously the Unified Law Enforcement Levy was a constant consideration during the budget process, and if it does fail to be approved, I think that it creates a huge burden on the parks, recreation, library, law enforcement, fire department, you name it, anything that the city funds that's outside of a business enterprise fund like water or sanitation or sewer, those are all separated out. But all of the other departments really will see significant rollbacks in capital projects, which is just not sustainable over the long term. So a very important vote. I think something that should be considered by anyone who can make it out on March 3rd. I guess additionally, the levy that's included in this budget is a reduction. The current reduction is $17.40 is the levy for the city. That's per thousand taxable valuation. This is a decrease of 4 cents. It appears as though that the levy might even be able to go down an additional 6 to 7 cents based off of what the numbers come back from the Unified Law Enforcement costs. That's obviously a reduction we can do after the public hearing if we find out that the LEC costs are less than what we anticipated. So I think a strong budget, it puts us in a better financial position as far as continuing to work to build back the general fund from the deficit it was in 4 years ago, and addressing the needs of capital projects in water and sewer, and bringing the revenues in line with expenses in sanitation.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote.
Shaw,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Goodell,
Aye.
Slater.
Aye. That's everything on the agenda. Do you have any comments from the council or staff? Anything from you, Joe?
Well, I guess just to reiterate what Aaron said, if this is voted no, we're going to have to come up with this money somewhere else. So I stress everybody to think about it and really consider whether you want to make an oversight, whether you want to pay for it, when do you want to pay for it? Because if this does not get passed, this levy, then we're going to have to come up with the money elsewhere. And that's going to be in property tax, possibly increases, or anything else. I mean, we have to backfill it somewhere. So I guess that's what I would just say to the city of Humboldt and all the voters.
And just to add to that, this is something that we've been paying anyway, since 1985,
Yeah, I believe so.
right in there. Your taxes aren't going up for this levy. It's staying steady. And I think the citizens will see, if it does not pass, they'll see things change in Humboldt as far as services go. And it's very important that people get out and vote yes for this levy. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I would just agree with Joel and John and what Aaron has said, and encourage everyone to get out and vote yes.
well, I do also. Anything?
Agree with him, Joe.
Okay. With that, I need a motion to adjourn and schedule the next meeting for when?
Monday, March 2nd.
Yep, March 2nd.
It doesn't matter, March.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.